is it. And a swath opened up, and we saw it at about 3/4 totality. And everyone's just like screaming and yelling. We're like, yeah!
Hi.
Do you want to know what I think it is?
What?
I think it's a ring light.
Yeah.
I think it's a ring light. I think there's a ring light.
There's certainly a ring when you stare at it. There's a thing that goes around it.
I think there's a thing that goes around it. Or it's like track maintenance on the subway where they have to change a bulb or something like that. Or it's a giant green screen that's like at some sort of energetic level that creates a, like a cloud cover. But now they're just making
Karen B.
clouds upon clouds.
Sometimes Peanut.
And they think our heads are in the clouds.
So we're taking phone calls. We get a lot. I don't think we're going to get to them all. But
Right?
Give it a shot. So try to keep it concise if you can. I know this first caller probably won't because, well, one, he can ramble, and two, he's probably not sober. And that would be 646 out of, I think, New York. I think you made it back to New York. Alex, have you made it back to New York yet? You back home?
Yeah, I'm back home. I'm going to try to unpack this quick because there's a lot to unpack. I wish I had like an hour to talk about it. A little housekeeping. Mark Devlin is speaking in New Haven tomorrow night at Bar New Haven. So if anybody's near there, go and see it. It's the Occulted History of Rock and Roll. He's already done a couple of shows here. So if you're near the East Coast or you're near New Haven,
Mark was here.
go see that.
Was Mark with you guys?
Yeah. No, he didn't make it over to the Eclipse. But I think he got, his New York show canceled because like all of us were out of town, but his Philadelphia show was really good. And I think his Boston show was decent, but I think like the New Haven show is the one you want to go to. So go to that. Unpacking the Salamanca meetup and watching the sun go dark. Real quick, we hopped in with Weiss on Sunday in the morning at 9, and we drove through the day, and it was the most beautiful blue sky you've ever seen. Like Dave said something about, this is the bluest it's been since 9/11. Remember that beautiful blue sky on 9/11 many, many years ago? And there were no clouds. We're like all hyped up. We're all talking about like catching up on all the, all the gossip from our community and like all the new stuff that we've learned and everything. It was just a great drive over. We get over to the casino, and we're like scouting for places to look. We go to the parking lot downstairs first of all, and I'm like, this isn't very cool. I don't like this. Then we see this parking garage, and we're like, let's just go all the way to the top of that and see what the parking's like. So we drive this spiral thing all the way to the top. It takes like 30 minutes to take this round thing up all the way. It's at the top of the casino, and there's nobody parked up there. So we're like, this is where we're watching it. This is where we're going to do it. So we hung out there on Sunday afternoon, evening. Blue skies, beautiful. And then about 5:30, 5:45, they started spraying. And it went from like one spray that was the biggest one I've ever seen to, we went over and we're looking off the other way to this little carnival thing they set up downstairs to do, like for where the normies will go and watch the thing and listen to, mediocre rock music or whatever. And we're like, we come back over to the other side looking at the sundown, and there were 7 sprays up. So we already knew something was up, right? I mean, perfectly blue sky. So we're like, okay, well, let's see what happens. So we hang out that night. We go to sleep. I get a text on Dave's like pitching his app and everything. Like we're all in this group chat on the app, and Dave's like, oh, I'm getting up at 7 o'clock. I'm gonna boil vinegar. I'm boiling vinegar, and sure as shit, he was actually boiling vinegar at 7 o'clock. Because by the time I got out there, it was 11. There was a full vat of vinegar just boiling, right? Well, when we got up, of course, it was completely overcast, totally overcast. We're like, oh, we're fucked. We're not going to get even a shot of vision at this thing, right? But there was a great cast of legends that showed up. I'm not going to go name by name, but all you guys out there, I know you're listening. That was an amazing hangout. There was probably 10, 15 of us, total legends. A lot of people in Western New York that made the drive an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours to get over there. And we're having just a blast. We're having a great time. We start watching this thing. We're seeing little holes in the clouds, and people were making like really bad jokes about, the wrong hole and all this stuff. But I was just looking at clouds, looking like, that hole's going to be good. That hole's going to be good. No, we're not going to be so good here. Because we hadn't seen anything yet. And finally, like at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we're all looking up, and I see a patch of blue. I was like, dude, we got a shot at this. We really have a shot at this. And, of course, the whole time we're like, is this vinegar really working? Is that the vinegar that's working? It's creating those holes? And the verdict is still out because these were high clouds. This was, I don't know if it was created by the sprays or whatever. But anyway, we're looking there, and we're finally starting to get a little downtrodden. So we're just like, well, fuck it. We're just going to have fun, which we did. And then, like about it was probably 2:30, we're looking up, and we're like, oh, this is it. This is it. About 3/4 totality. And everyone's just like screaming and yelling. We're like, yeah. Still coming up to just to my right. I was like, that's the one. That's the one that's coming. That's the one that's going to work. We're going to see it. And about 20 minutes past, it gets to be about whatever, I think it was 3:17, 3:18. That hole opened up, and we saw the exact time of totality right at when it does the diamond ring effect, and like the whole roof just erupted.